Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Donovan the Smartphone Guy, and as promised, I did pick up the Blue Life 1 X2. So for those of you who are new to my channel, I have reviewed a number of Blue phones. This is, I think, the sixth Blue phone that I've reviewed, and this is the fourth one I've reviewed, I think, for YouTube. So just about 2 weeks ago, I reviewed the Blue Vivo 5R, which is a newer phone from Blue. And this one came out at the same time, just got it today, actually. And let's go ahead and take a look. This is just a first look. This isn't my complete impressions, not my full review of the phone. And just so everyone knows, I did return the Vivo 5R, and we'll talk about that more. If you have any questions about that, you can go ahead and watch that video, which I'll leave in the link down here in the description. But this is my first look at the Life 1 X2. So like I said, just got it today. So let's talk about specs real quick, and then we'll get into just kind of my first impressions of the phone itself. So first of all, you can see like Blue always leaves those specs on the back, which is kind of nice. So it's a 5.2 inch curved full HD 1080p display. We have the Snapdragon 430. I picked up the 64 gig of internal storage or internal memory, 4 gig of RAM version. They do also have a 2 gig 16 gig variant, so that's something you can keep in mind. So that one's $149. The one I picked up was $199 on Amazon, and again, I'll leave the link in the description if you want to purchase this. So this one comes with the a Snapdragon processor. So this is the 430 1.4 gigahertz processor. The Vivo 5R came with a MediaTek processor. This one does have the fingerprint sensor, which is in the front. And that is actually a home button. That is a button that you can actually compress, so you can actually push that down. So kind of different. So it's kind of like a Samsung in that regard. So 16 megapixel main camera, 8 megapixel selfie, which is the same as the Vivo 5R. You've got the Corning Gorilla Glass on there, and it's running Android 6.0. So that's just some quick specs. Another couple things to mention in terms of specs would be that this does feature Quick Charge 3.0. So here you can see that it is micro USB. It is not Type-C. So that's probably a little bit of a negative that I'll mention. But it does have Quick Charge 3.0, so that means it is charging super fast. You can get a full charge in about 90 minutes, which is great. Another couple things to mention, this does have laser autofocus, which, you know, we'll talk about that camera just a little bit. In terms of LGE connectivity, so this is GSM unlocked, so it's going to work for T-Mobile, Cricket, AT&T, things like that, any of the MVNOs that go along with those companies. But this does only have a few bands of LTE, but the reason I picked it up is because it has the one most important one in my area, which is band 17 for AT&T. I actually use Cricket Wireless. So it has bands 2, 4, 7, 12, and 17 for those of you who are interested. In terms of your LTE coverage. So just something to keep in mind if you live somewhere where those bands aren't the primary bands that are used. So in the box, let's just talk about what you get in the box. So this is kind of in typical Blue fashion in terms of the stuff you get in the box. So it came with a screen protector that I already put on it. If I can actually get the box open here. All right, so that's the little piece that goes on top of the phone when you first get it. You can see I haven't used any of these accessories yet, but it does come with some headphones, the typical Blue headphones, which aren't fantastic, but they're not horrible either. It does come with a 3 amp charger, so this is a fast charger that you can use with the phone, which is thumbs up. That's awesome that they did that. Comes with a nice thick micro USB cable, so that's cool. It's just IMEI information. This is where the screen protector was, or actually the case, clear case. So it does come with this clear frosted TPU case, just a thin case. And then it does also come with a screen protector. Like I said, I already put that one on there, so we'll go ahead and throw that stuff back in the box real quick and talk a little bit more about the phone. So let's talk about software for a moment. So actually, let's talk about Fingerprint Sensor since I already have it open. So there is a front-facing flash, which is kind of cool, and we do have a single rear flash as well. Actually, let's look around the phone. Might as well do that. So here we have our single mono speaker, and we'll take a listen to that a little bit. You can see a small little microphone there, hole as well. This is not a speaker. It looks like it would be, but when you put it up to your ear, you do only hear sound out of this one and not over here, so that's something to keep in mind. You notice there's nothing on this side. On the back, we just have our camera and the flash. Nothing on this side except we have our power button and our volume rocker, and on the top, we just have our headphone jack. Now, as long as we have this thing ready to go, we might as well pop this open. And this is really strange. So this is a metal build, which is very slick. You definitely want to use that case for sure, because that is slick. Now, it is a metal build, and you can actually feel a little compression there, so I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's definitely not a real tight metal casing. But this is kind of weird to me. I didn't know this going into this review, but this actually pops off, so this is kind of weird. I've never seen it's not a unibody metal phone for sure. Let me get that off. There we go. Jeez, little piece, that's hard to get off. All right, so look at that. So it does have an NFC chip built in there. I think. Does it have NFC? I don't know. Question mark? I don't want to say that for sure. Hold on. Let me look and see if I can find that on the spec sheet real quick. Hold on. I'm pretty sure it does, but question mark. Let's leave that as a question mark. I don't know. Shoot. Okay. Sorry. Wasn't fully prepared for this. All right, but anyways, let's talk a little bit more about this. So we do have dual SIM, and one thing that was a little bit of a frustration for me is the fact that it's micro SIM sucky. I have a nano SIM, so I have to go get an adapter, so I can't actually use this until I get that adapter, which I'll have tomorrow. And then it does have the micro SD expansion slot. That's about it. In terms of the battery here, we have a 3,000 milliamp hour battery. So the Vivo 5R, one thing that phone had going for it was battery life for sure, and we'll see how this one handles the battery life. I'm not really sure yet, but now we have this open, and oh crap, I've hit too many buttons and now it's locked. But let's see if there's anything else I can talk about while I'm waiting for that to unlock. So it does have some kind of I'm thinking these are like fake antenna bands that kind of look chromy there. But anyways, let's see if it's even ready to go yet. Oh, 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so I've used 2 thumbprints. I've used both thumbs. All right, and it pops right open. That is I think, a really good fingerprint sensor. It's fast. It's definitely better. Okay, let's just compare this real quick. Whoops, sorry, bumping my camera. All right, so this is the Zte Axon 7 Mini. So this is not the full Axon 7. This has a 5.2 inch screen. This has a 5.2 inch screen. And in comparison, roughly about the same size. This thing, though, is significantly heavier. Not exactly sure why. But yeah, so I mean, roughly the same size, but this is definitely thicker. That's for darn sure. And then in comparison to like an iPhone 7 here, definitely bigger than the iPhone 7, but this is very manageable in the hand for sure. And this thing, okay, let's do just a quick comparison just for fun. All right, so I'm going to try to do this. This is going to be weird because I'm going to do a back fingerprint sensor versus a front. So this is a $300 phone. Same fingerprint sensor you get on the Axon 7, and this is a front one. So we'll try to do them at the same time. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, man, I was surprised by that. I would have totally guessed that this one was faster. But let's try that again. 1, 2, 3. Oh, look at that. It is faster. All right. Man, in real-world usage, for some reason I felt this one was faster. But let's try again. 1, 2, 3. Okay, man, I totally stand corrected. But this one isn't bad. That's kind of surprising to me. But anyways, I think this one is pretty good. So in terms of what you get on the phone, so this is kind of weird, but when you go through your app drawer, it puts them in alphabetical order. I don't know, that's cool, I suppose. So that's just something. And so this is what the phone looks like when you get it out of the box. This is the software. This is the app launcher it comes with. see if I can get that so it's not quite so bright. Turn that down a little bit. Oh yeah, we got the brightness all the way up. There we go. All right. So these are the apps it comes with. There's really not a ton of bloatware at all. Everything from calendar on is something that I've added, and so it's just adding it to the screens. It's still downloading a bunch of apps right now. But again, app drawer, kind of weird. It's in alphabetical order, but they do it, yeah. So I don't know, you can see how it does it. But interesting, I don't know, something to... Obviously, you can throw in an app launcher, or sorry, a launcher on there. I'm a Nova Launcher person, so I'm going to be throwing Nova Launcher on there real soon, and we'll talk about that as well. Let's just take a quick camera look, and then we'll look at software, and then we'll call this one good. So let's go ahead and... So this is dark room, not a real bright room right now. See how that looks on here. And so far, I would say that it's kind of a typical blue. So I don't know if this doesn't really come through real well, but that has a lot of detail actually. So this is the 16 megapixel camera on the front, and that's the default, or sorry, on the back, and that's the default that it's set at. And that actually looks pretty good. I like how that looks. Pretty detailed, I think. This is pretty well lit right here, but this is a dark room. So anyways, but in low light, I will say that the pictures were pretty grainy, the ones that I've took so far. So just a few pictures, and they were in low light, definitely not spectacular. Let's talk about the software it comes with. So let's go into settings, so you can see kind of the drop-down menu here. So this is a very lightly skinned phone, in my opinion. So compared to other blue phones, like the Vivo 5R, very light Android skin on this one. Get rid of that drone. And let's take a look at the settings menu, and this is why I say it's pretty lightly skinned. So this looks basically like stock Android. There's really nothing in here that is... There's not even any gestures that I can find anyways. So there may be somewhere locked in here somewhere, but I don't see any. So usually there's a gestures option. So for instance, Axon 7 is a little bit more heavily skinned. And let's see what that one looks like in comparison. So we've got to go to all settings. And so this one definitely has some extra stuff under like customized features. There's a bunch of stuff there that wouldn't be on normal. All right, so here's the device. So they have all these extra customized features in there that you don't find on this. So this one's much more stock for sure in terms of the settings anyways. Nothing extra really that you get with it. Obviously you can get those through other apps if that's something that you want, but kind of interesting. So another thing to mention is that this is, I already mentioned this once before, but that is like an actual home button. So I can go here and push it down and it goes back. So it has these software keys that includes the home button, but then it also has this button, which is the fingerprint sensor, that also is a home button that you can actually press, and you can actually feel that press. Pretty nice feel to it. But anyways, I'm sure there's something I'm missing. This is already a 13-minute video, so I'm going to have to cut myself off. I like to talk a lot. Hopefully I've hit kind of the big things. If there's any questions, go ahead and leave those in the comment section, because I'll try to address those when I do my full review of the phone. I will probably wait a little bit because right now I only got this phone on Friday. I haven't even done my full review of the Axon 7 Mini yet. So that one will be coming out, the full review. I'm using this as my primary phone right now. So that one will come out first, and then I'll jump into this one here, the Life 1X2. But so far, I'm going to say that I like this phone. Just in what I've used so far, it's limited. Obviously, I've only had the phone for a few hours at this point. But so far, it seems like the price tag of $200 is a pretty darn good price tag for what you get. 64 gigs of onboard storage with micro SD expansion, 4 gigs of RAM, a processor that so far feels pretty snappy. I think that, yeah, I mean, even compared to this thing, it feels a little snappier. So this has the 617 processor, so yeah, this isn't too bad. This is the phone I've been using as my primary phone for a few days now. And anyways, so yeah, so far I'd definitely say $200. This is a good phone so far. And I would also say that I like it more than the Vivo 5R so far. But anyways, like I said, give me about a week and I'll come out with my full review. Probably a little bit longer than a week because I got to finish this one up. But anyways, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel if you haven't already. It really helps the channel out. Give this video a thumbs up. That also helps. And as always, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.